I'm Miriam Joy and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to be doing a flag, either for the 4th of July or if you have somebody that decorates in the Americana decor, you could also use that as a gift. I purchased a metal sign. I actually found this at a thrift store, but they're very popular in the craft stores. And you could also do it on a wooden one as well. It wouldn't have to be a metal one. So you have those different options. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put some paint on it. And we're going to kind of dry brush it. And that means we're not going to add water to our brush. And we're going to kind of taper the ends off. So you want the thick part being in the middle. And then when we get to the ends, you just kind of want to fade them off. So we're going to put that on there real quick. And I would probably do a couple of coats of this if you have the time to kind of let that dry. And I'm going to try and take these edges up here, just whisk them out a little bit too, so they're not a straight line as well. Okay, so now I'm going to rinse my brush and I'm going to dry it out as much as possible. And when you dry your brush out, your skin is the most absorbent thing there is. Being a toll painting teacher, I learned that that's the fastest way to dry your brush out is actually to rub it onto your skin. So we're going to come in here and we're going to make a square with our blue. And it's just acrylic paint, and I picked bright blue, just a medium type of blue that I thought was closest to kind of a flag color here. And and you could bring your pencil in or whatever, and I'm going to keep these lines straight on the sides right here, but on these others I want to whisk them out. So we're just going to kind of, and it's not supposed to be perfect. It's just kind of an idea of a part of a flag, I guess, is what we're kind of after. And don't move the paint around. See this area right here, I moved it and I lifted paint back up off of it. So let it dry. I'm actually messing with it too much today. Let it dry in between. You actually don't want to do that. So I'm going to dry this brush out here, and again I'm going to rinse it really well, and I'm going to come in with my hand and just get the rest of that water out. And we're going to go to our red. And our red, we're going to do our stripes on, but on the edges we want it to kind of fade out. And this is again just a bright red. And I am going to start with the line right underneath. Now I want to just kind of, like it's been faded out. And I don't want these to come off into one end. We want to keep them kind of wispy and different lengths, kind of maybe like it's an old weathered flag. And I get this just a little bit more, just because I want to get the strokes that I'm working with in there. And I should have probably allowed a little bit more room. I'm going to widen this one up here. I should have left a little bit more room right there between those two, but that's okay. We're just trying to give you the idea here. And we can try to cover that up with white just a little bit, see what happens. Don't know if that'll work real well or not, but we'll try it. There we go. Just cover that up just so you have an idea what we're after. That kind of gives it a more blended look anyway. I do want to bring the blue out a little bit more back here because I brought my red out a little bit further. So I want to kind of bring that out as well. Okay, so there's no right or wrong to this, it's just putting it on and doing it. So if I was working on this, I would take my charcoal pencil and mark these off up here so I kind of know where I want to put my stars. I'm going to use white Crayola crayon for my wax here, and I'm using the number 0, the larger end of the number 0, and I'm going to start with all of the top parts of the first row, and I'm actually pulling these, and I'm not pulling them long, almost kind of like you do a leaf into a point. So then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the sides to them. So we're kind of pulling the sides now. And they can be touching, and I'm going to come in here and pull this other side. And now we're going to pull the bottoms off to make these look like little stars. And I would try to get 3 rows in here if possible. And don't worry, these aren't supposed to be perfect. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of lifting these up the tip. You want to kind of have a tip on them, but you don't want them to be pulled long. You want to keep them nice and short. So we have our first row of stars. So we're going to come in here and we're going to do our second row. And I'm pulling all those top ones first. And we're doing these in between the 3. So we're only going to have 2 stars in this row. And the last row here, we're going to pull this one up. Hopefully we're going to fit all these on here. And the side, 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 one more side here. And you could put glitter in with this, you could put all kinds of different things that you wanted to do. Don't get stuck in just the way I'm showing you. Use your own imagination. I actually went to a museum and they had a flag that had been buried, and it was so torn and tattered. I guess that's kind of what we're going after. And you could probably make better stars than I can, but we've got those stars in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come up and we're going to just put some design. And I'm going to use red on my red. And I'm going to use my number 2 tool, the small end. And there is no right or wrong to this. If you have another stroke that you're more comfortable with, I'm just kind of doing like a backwards S, just right down the middle. And all I'm doing is giving it texture and design. If you had another stroke that you were more comfortable with, by all means use that. There's, like I said, if you've ever taken a class from me, I always tell you there's no right or wrong, it's just how you interpret it. So see, that one I stopped shorter than I did the other one because I don't want them all the same length to kind of give it that tattered look. I'm just going to come in here with the red one. You can make these all kind of C shapes or scallops or whatever you wanted to do. You could come in here and add some dots, which I think we might try when we get done here. And that one I actually even stopped a little bit more than the last row even. And this one I'll probably take longer here. Just finishing out the row. If you did it on wood and it didn't pull real good for you, varnish it first and then try pulling again. Okay, and you wouldn't even have to put your white strokes in there if you decided that was all you liked. So I'm going to come in here though, and I'm going to do some white. White has to be stirred a little bit more than all the other colors. It kind of likes to settle to the bottom. So when you're working with white, know that you may have to stir that just a little bit more. But I'm going to go ahead and put the white on because I think it just makes a neat pattern. Remember, I said there is no right or wrong to this, it's just your interpretation of it. So if you want to be doing something different, you could do something different. You could even lightly come in here and put just a little bit of blue and just blend it out with your colors really well. Be careful dripping, and I was trying to hurry a little bit faster because when you do pull the knife on this, you will pick up your paint. So you want to be careful and slow down, and I was trying to rush a little bit too much here because it's not like the gourds or other items where you can scrape it off as easy. If you do make a drop, just scrape it off, kind of repaint that back in there, and don't worry about it. It's okay. And I'm going to make this one longer even so we kind of get that. Now I have that little drip up at the top here, and I'm going to see, he's up the top, that's nice, so we're not going to get him too much, and we'll just kind of blend him out, so that's good. You should also come back in here like I talked about and add some dots in here, and I think that would look cool too. So there's all kinds of neat things you can do with this. When you're done with this, I recommend varnishing it. You could either spray varnish it. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to use Deco Arch Triple Thick and do a few layers of brush on varnish, and that just gives it an extra hold so that you can use it again after year. And I would do probably about 3 coats, big heavy coats of that, because this is metal and you want that just to hold on a little bit more. So we've kind of messed with that, and you can see just by adding the dots it gives it a different look. So do whatever you want. Instead of up here, you could do dots one at a time, or you could do like a descending 3 dot in a grouping instead of stars. I've also kind of put some different things. This was actually a set of 3 right here, and I did the firework and the 4th of July sign. There is a video how to do the fireworks, and you can put that over onto the metal sign as well. And then the 4th of July was just the 3 colors put on there, and then the wording with the black Crayola. So let me know if you have any questions about this project. Email me at art@miriamjoy.com. For any of the products we may have used today, please visit my website at miriamjoy.com. There's a YouTube link on that page. It'll take you over to more fun tips and techniques, and also a Facebook link. You don't have to be a member of Facebook. You can just click on that and come on over, and we post a new picture up there for you every day to kind of keep you going and enjoy the process. Thank you for joining me today. God bless.